All right, I think that's good for this part. Let's talk some WWE TV, Rusty. What do you got for us?
The road to Royal Rumble. We talked a lot about Royal Rumble basically since the return of CM Punk, the surprise return of Punk.
I
We've
called it.
asked what it meant. Lee posed a great question shortly before we went on today, saying, "Is this the best build to the Royal Rumble of all time?" Lee, do you
What
have
do
an
you
answer
think?
to your own question?
Yeah, well, first, what do you think in the comments section below, right? We separate this video out from the WWE Champions game, which, by the way, if you're watching this because you love WWE TV, check out the WWE Champions game. Legitimately the best wrestling game
Way better than
ever,
the other games
ever.
you might see a commercial for during WWE TV. Go ahead
Yes,
and
agreed.
search for WWE Champions. Yeah.
Let's start a war. Come at us, right? No. So, so WWE TV, so Road to WrestleMania or Road to Royal Rumble, which by the way, Royal Rumble is my favorite event every year.
Oh yeah.
Way more than I love WrestleMania, but Royal Rumble is my favorite. I can't remember a year in recent memory where they've built up a better set of possibilities, right? Because in the
Right.
last set of TV, we had, like, for example, we were having a conversation, we might have that here in a moment, of who do we think the women's Royal Rumble winner is going to be? And basically it was like, well, it's Bayley, right? Or who else? Like, okay,
Or
if it's going to
Naya?
be EO,
Or is it Naya?
Naya,
Or is it Bayley?
right, on this
Or
side,
is
and
it
it
my
felt
women's Royal Rumble winner prediction is neither of them? So
just neither, just anybody
you
else.
want it now? No, I can tell you now.
Oh no. Well, we could save it to build the intrigue for a
Okay.
moment, right?
Okay.
Okay. But then in one segment on Raw, they had Becky come out and confront Rhea, and all of a sudden, like I had people like my buddy Graham was texting me like, "So Becky's got to win the Royal Rumble, right?" But then they'll do something the next time, and it's like, "Oh, it's got to be this person." And on the men's side, you've got two stories: the never-ending story of Cody Rhodes. You've got the 10-year-long story of CM Punk. You've got the unbelievable title reign of the Intercontinental Champion Gunther. You've got the wild card where Brock Lesnar can come back and decide he wants to win whatever event, and he just
And
does.
that's why I
You've got
hated
what if
Safety
Big E
Cuts.
comes back? Like, you've got so many stories, and they're playing into them, right? You saw Cody have an interview or have a segment with Drew McIntyre. You saw Cody have a segment with CM Punk, and they're building that up on there. You saw Drew McIntyre engage with Damian Priest. You saw Damian Priest call out Seth. You saw Jinder Mahal show up and show that he maybe was better than we actually imagined him to be. Like, there are so many where if any of them win, whereas last year, just being honest, one, we knew Cody Rhodes was coming back anyway.
Felt like a
But
lot.
but two, as soon as they announced he was coming back, it was like, well, Cody's gonna win, right?
And
Like,
he
I'm
came
very
back.
glad Gunther got to hang that long, but there was no question in my
Cody won
mind.
the Rumble in the worst fashion possible, right? When you're number 30. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, come on. Like the Hogan late run in, it's a shoe in. Like,
Yeah.
that's the worst. Like,
Right.
let him climb the hill, let him
Right.
let him have a Ric Flair or a HBK, any of those memorable Royal Rumble performances where the Iron Man, right? The Steve
Right.
Austin back-to-back wins were both surprise wins, and he went the distance.
Right.
And it was great. It was so great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could have any of that. Plus, you talk about surprises. Like, I was watching the one of the newer episodes of This Is Awesome with Greg Miller, and it was about action figures. They had Matt Cardona on there, formerly Zack Ryder in
Yeah.
WWE,
Why?
talking about his wrestling collection. He's
Yeah.
not in the company, as far as
Right.
we know, but he is a world champion from other companies. WWE didn't give him that placement, others did. What if and his significant other, Chelsea Green, is in the company?
He's so
What
good.
if Matt Cardona comes back and wins the whole thing? What if CM Punk does? And it's almost even more interesting to me this year. What if this person doesn't win than even who does win? Which that's when you know they've built it up well.
Yeah.
Like, normally it's just like, well, that person's going to win. But now you're like, oh my gosh, what if CM Punk doesn't win? What if Cody Rhodes doesn't win? What if Gunther doesn't? Like, where do we go from there? And it creates intriguing possibilities. What
Mm.
about you, Rusty? You remember a better build to the Royal
No,
Rumble
this
in
is a
recent
great
memory?
build. This is one of the best builds, and it feels foolproof. Where some of the surprise return winners have felt like fool's gold, and we didn't want to see them win it. We didn't want to see them go on to Mania. We just felt
Right.
like this. So this is just they're the oh gosh, the Roman win, the Roman, and then
That
they
Roman win.
booed so badly. They're like last minute, send out the Rock to like raise
Right.
his hand and help put him over, and it just was like,
Talk
oh,
about visual facial language. The Rock's
so
face is
weird.
like,
It's so weird. Like, why are you booing my cousin? He's a good guy.
right.
Yeah. So we're
The
gonna
Rock.
see.
What if The Rock wins?
It would be great. We're going to see something intriguing happen this year.
Yeah.
Something of high story value. Uh,
Yeah.
it's going to be thought out. It's going to be reflective of Hunter's first Rumble winner, being the head of creative. It's going to be
Mm,
his first Mania without Mr. McMahon, and he's going to be head of creative, right? So we're going to really see what are you capable of, Paul Levesque?
right.
We know you can do it. We've seen flashes of brilliance all through NXT Black and Gold, and we believe that same level of business acumen and fan appeasement of what they
Mm,
want to see as well. There's going to be a cross sectionality, and we're going to see a great Rumble, and we're going to see a great Mania. But here's my pick for the Women's Royal Rumble winner. I believe it's going to be Bayley. Bayley
oh,
is coming for EO, and that is going to be the Rumble match winner, and that's going to be the WrestleMania matchup. We're going to see Damage Control implode and
yeah.
become Bayley's going to become Superface.
Hugga Bailey.
And I hope I'll grow that side pony out before Mania. Let it go. She was probably the greatest female babyface ever when she was Huggable Bayley. Listen, as a guy who has daughters, they
Oh,
like they came alive when her music hit and her inflatables went up and she came to the ring. She did something for little girls that like I don't know that
yeah.
anyone else in the business has
Right.
ever done, right? And
Right.
she generated a whole new generation of female fan interest. Um, so
True.
she's on the Mount Rushmore of female talent as far as I'm considered, even though she may not be one of the more popular first
Right.
female horsemen. She's far outlived the fourth female horseman that is MIA. All that
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
I
What
think it's going to
if?
be Bayley. So then that puts Becky almost winning the Rumble, but not winning the Rumble, and
Okay.
and then Becky goes on to Elimination Chamber probably and has a big win there. And we see Becky and Rhea and the other female main event, and we see EO's I don't know, like drop that belt to Bayley at Mania, and it's going to be a Mania moment that is
Mm,
so exciting and so special and so wonderful. That's what I think.
I love it. I'm not on the Bailey train. You know who Bailey, Hugga Bailey reminded me of with the side ponytail like that? Maybe this is what she was going for. The
Napoleon
girl off
Dynamite's
Napoleon
girlfriend.
Dynamite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
Do you drink
do you
2%
drink?
because you think
Yes.
you're fat?
You're fat because you're
Because
not. You
you
could
don't
drink whole
have to.
milk if you wanted to. That's
Uh,
exactly who she reminded me of. Maybe that's what stuck in my mind, and I was just like, I don't know. I would say she is my, well, my least favorite horsewoman is Charlotte. We know that Charlotte's not my
yeah,
favorite by any means,
yeah.
but Becky is my,
Of course.
yeah. In terms of storytelling, I
Becky's my
think they need,
favorite female talent ever. Just for the
yeah,
record,
she's in my top five of any,
she's number one.
yeah,
Even
ever.
intergender number, she'd
That's what I
be
mean.
three. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. whatever gender class you want to be in there for, Becky, I think is in the top 5. And that's saying, because that's like your Stings, your Hogan Flairs, those conversations, Undertakers, like those are the conversations. Austin Rock, I think Becky's up there. For me, I like Becky better than Stone Cold, hands down. I sat through the Attitude Era. I bet, up there with The Rock. Shawn Michaels, I think I prefer. But anyway,
I'm a
I
huge
think
Michaels mark. I think Becky is the female Shawn Michaels.
interesting.
That's my comparison to
Okay.
male talent. Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that the focus needs to be on the SmackDown title. Whoever wins, and it might be Bayley, I think the focus needs to be on the SmackDown title for that, because Rhea could literally just say, I'm here, and that's it. Like, boom, she has that clout. Io, not that she's not as powerful a champion, but that's not the storyline way that she does things, where Rhea just shows up and says, I'm taking this, it's mine. Io needs that build in the story. So I'd be fine with Bayley. I'd be fine with the fourth horsewoman showing back up and it being a 3-way or something along those lines, so that neither Bayley or Io has to eat the pin. Of course, they wouldn't have the returning person eat the pin. I don't know. Anyway, it creates all these possibilities, and that's
True.
what this Rumble is so rife with, that I've just
Yeah.
not seen in the past few years.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And it has made Raw more interesting. It has made SmackDown more interesting. It has made
Yeah.
NXT more interesting
Yeah.
because we're seeing way more call-ups and main roster debuts without a draft,
Yeah.
without a Rumble
Drafts are
surprise
stupid.
appearance.
Right.
Dragon Lee being a great example. Carmelo Hayes being a great example
Yeah.
of like they're just main roster kind of now. Like if they want
Yeah.
to be, they're there. Um, really cool. This is going to be a really special year, I think, for
I think so too.
wrestling. I really do. Yeah.
I think so too. And there's rumors, although I think they're totally unfounded, and we can't, with our contractual agreements, can't talk about the other company. But there's rumors
There
that
is actually, I've
the
heard there is
former
no other company. Did you know that?
there is no other. That's right.
It's like the spoon in the Matrix, you know?
There is no spoon. Well, the former world champion from another uh, universe, if they existed, is said that maybe that person would show up. What if? I don't know this. I'm not dabbling in contract statuses over here, right? But there's so much, like the possibility are endless. Now, the trick will be make that matter going into Mania. And I think the way Hunter has booked things, it's consistent, right? I think in the past there was a little bit of squirrel, like, oh, we were going this way, but oh, now we're going this way. Like even CM Punk coming back, even whatever's going on with Drew McIntyre, even those things happening, even if this other mystery horsewoman were to show back up in the company, even if Matt Cardona was not just a surprise guest on This Is Awesome, I think that there's a plan and they're sticking to the plan.
Yeah.
But I think after, like, as we get to Mania and after, the goal should be, remember the Attitude Era where you had like 17 stories going at once? And it
Yeah.
was like, oh, now we're talking about the APA. Oh, now Mick Foley's over here as commissioner. Oh, now we've got Stone Cold and he was the main attraction, but you almost wanted to see what Ty and Ty, of all people, were doing. And now you've kind of got that feel again, right?
So here's another bold women's Rumble take. We will see Jade Cargill make her debut, and it will
Mm,
be in Kane-like fashion. She will eliminate
11 women.
potentially double-digit women.
Mm, mm.
I think,
But not win.
but not win. No, and
Not win.
not even go Final Four. Like it'll be,
Right.
she'll probably be like number 3 and get eliminated around number 24.
Mm,
I think toss out potentially double-digit women.
right. I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. I hope so.
I
They
could see
they
her
definitely need
eliminate
to build
Nia
her.
Jax. I could see like her being the running clothesline to put Nia over.
Yeah. Or she like body slams her or something. Like it's a Hogan Andre moment
Yeah,
for Jade Cargill.
I could see it. Like it
Oh,
would make so
yes.
much sense to me. And
Yeah.
more interesting than any return of a female horsewoman. Far more
Right.
interesting.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think the only other Rumble I think that I've been this interested in, and it wasn't actually the lead up to the Rumble, it was what happened during, was unfortunately 2020s, before the shutdowns, before everything happened. Do you remember the running storyline for that Rumble?
Hmm.
Brock Lesnar enters early and just yeets every person who comes in over. So the first
Oh
half of
yeah,
the Rumble was
yeah,
literally just Brock standing in the ring going,
yeah, yeah. That
right?
was
And
yeah,
you just got this like, get him out. And so when Drew McIntyre came in, and when him and Ricochet, when Drew McIntyre eliminated, like, it was a made man scenario, right? And
yeah.
that's what this feels like. It feels like they're making several people, like I could see a Bronson Reed being the Iron Man
Oh
in the
yeah,
Rumble and getting a big push. I could see
sure.
Gunther showing up and just dominate, like, oh, so good. And the ladies, like I said, we've got lots of opportunities. So yeah, that's my thoughts.
I feel like I'm able to see a little more clearly what's going on in the female division, but I like the men's division. I just speculation. I have no
Yeah.
hot takes. Literally anything could happen, and it would
Yeah.
be great. Anything that did happen.
Yeah. There's 6 scenarios where a different person wins the Royal Rumble men's, and I'm ecstatic. Like, that hasn't happened in a long time.
I don't think it'll be Cody. As much as I love Cody, I don't think it'll be Cody winning that Rumble.
If they don't finish that story, like, legitimately, he's going to be one of those. Remember when when Cody Rhodes had so much potential and never made it like that?
I think fans would revolt if he won two in a row. I think
Yeah.
you feel two Roman Reigns made man,
Mm,
forcey, like,
mm.
and it would have to be the only way it would work is if it was an Iron Man type storyline.
That's where I
Cody
was going to
pulls
go with
number
it.
one, the deck is stacked against him. He leaves on a stretcher mid match. Something where it's just like overcoming insurmountable odds. Nakamura hospitalizes him. He comes back, at the very end. Yeah,
Right.
it'd be insane. It would be insane. I would love it, but I would also think people that don't like Cody are not going to like this.
I mean, he's one of their top merch sellers. Like, I mean, we said it last year. The iron is hot. If they don't strike it, it's going to screw things up. But it's more true this year than it was last year. And he doesn't have to have a long title reign, but he needs to get the title, and then we can take it off of him and do something else.
Yeah, it's all about the hero's journey, and
Right.
it has to, the battle and the journey has to feel real and believable, and it has to be a struggle, and the sweeter the victory when the hero does accomplish the task. Um, Part of me thinks Cody loves the business so much that he never gets the belt, and he says,
Mm,
in the fashion of my father, I will
mm,
never hold this gold as a homage. Who am I to do what he could not do? Like,
mm.
part of me could see him doing that and just going like,
Oh.
I don't need a title to be champion. I don't
Oof.
need and my dad never had it, and I won't either.
Mm.
And like, whoa, that would be
Maybe. I just, if he doesn't win it, I see him dropping down the card, because you got your LA Knight. They've got a filler feud for LA Knight going. You got your CM
yeah.
Punks. You've got Drew McIntyre. I mean, like, this is the most stacked it's been since the 1980s,
Well,
I
Cody
think.
held that tag team gold for a little while, and we did.
Yeah.
I was very surprised they didn't do like a US title run or something,
Yeah.
just like the old US Open Challenge. Like that would have been a great thing for Cody in 2023. Like that would have been
Yeah.
really that would have created, I think, a lot of new Cody fans. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people that didn't care about the indies or the family connection. Like they would have liked him for him, right? They would have just liked him. So,
Yeah. Hmm.
well,
Well, I
take it
think,
out, Lee.
yeah, I was gonna say, I think that's what we got for this week. So, for all those who are watching both parts of the podcast, we so appreciate you. If you just watch the WWE only portion of it, check out Champions, WWE Champions on mobile. It is legitimately our favorite game. We obviously like it enough that we became official content creators for it. We lucked into that. Anyway, and we are honored to be a part of this community. We love you guys. We want to see this community thrive. And so hopefully you have some constructive thought on this video and what's going on in the game. Put it where we told you to and just walk in it. Just be good to one another. We'll see you next time. Bye.